champion. Now, a night after the U.S. men's hockey team saw their season end in a shootout, the U.S. women win gold. Yes, we'll show you the moment that the ladies have been waiting for since 1998.
Great stuff there in the Olympics. First, we start in the Sunshine State. Tiger playing the Honda Classic for just the fourth time. He's never won there, trying to take another step in his return from back fusion surgery. We go to PGA National in Palm Beach Gardens. Tiger, of course, missed the cut at Riviera last week. Started on the back nine, 1 under already on 13 from 90 yards away, and snuggles it up 5 feet from the cup. He would birdie from there, gets it to 2 under. Actually had share the lead at one point. Then he got to the section of the course called the Bear Trap. 15, 16, 17 on the par 4 16th from 180 yards. Not where he wanted it. Swallowed up by that greenside bunker. He would bogey that hole, fall back to 1 under after 9. Still a good score. Third hole now from 150. And Tiger's not going to like this as well. He's had some trouble with his irons early in this season. Again in a bunker. Later on, he's got to try to salvage a bogey from 3 feet. No, rolls it way past. A double for Tiger there on 3, moves him to 1 over on the day. But getting one back on the very next hole. Number 4, second shot from 100 yards out, and he sticks it. 6 feet from the hole, Tiger would get a birdie and get it back to even par on the day. Let's get a check of the scorecard for Tiger Woods. As we said, went out in 34. And right now, playing the front side, his final 9. And as we said, at even par after the double and then the birdie on 3 and 4. For more on this, let's bring in Andy North, who joins us from the course there at the Honda Classic in Palm Beach Gardens. So, Andy, last week, Tiger had trouble keeping it in the fairway. His irons weren't great. He 3-putted 3 times on the back 9 Friday. What did you see out of him today?
Well, I think, first of all, being even par at this point in time in the round, there's only 11 players under par, so he's in really good shape. He's done a lot of things well. He's done, obviously, you don't play perfect golf, and in these windy conditions, that's not going to be the case today from anybody. But I think he's hit a couple of poor tee shots, but other than that, he's driven the ball very well. The fairways he's missed have been very close, a yard one way or the other. He's hit some decent greens. The greens are firm. Coming out of the rough, you've got no chance to stop the ball in the green, so it's important to have it in the fairway. But he's hit some, as we've just shown, he's hit some nice iron shots. He's made some birdies. He's doing a lot of things quite well. It's just not perfect golf, and under these conditions, that won't be the case from anybody. Yeah,
tough track, promising start for Tiger Woods again, playing his 15th hole as he's on the front 9 right now. Andy North giving us the very latest as Tiger's at even par in his first round there at the Honda Classic.
Sports Center on the Road is confidently presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans.
The game everyone is talking about this morning, USA Hockey. The ladies had been here before, facing Canada in the gold medal game. Canada had won 24 straight games at the Olympics. Pick it up in the third period. USA down 2-1 on the rush. Brianna Decker in front of the net gets run over by Mary-Philip Poulin. Now, no penalty is called despite no checking being allowed in women's international hockey. USA coach Rob Stauber is angry, thinks it should be a 5-minute major. Now, later in the third, Canada with a 2-on-1. Maddie Rooney makes a save. Canada goes for the bad line change. Now, keep your eye on USA Monique Lemeroux, who scores on the breakaway. She goes top shelf for Mama Hides the Cookies. USA ties the game at 2 apiece. Right there. All right, so we would head over now to overtime. It was an exciting game. Take a look at here at Panic. She's looking good, and she hits the post, though. It rings off the post. USA misses a chance to win it. Now, later in overtime, Megan Keller and Poulin go after the puck. They both fall down. Keller is called for the penalty in overtime. So Canada goes to the power play. On the ensuing power play, under 50 seconds to go, Laura Fortino throws a puck to the net. Rebecca Johnson just misses the rebound. USA goalie Rooney gets her stick right on the shot. Johnson with the early celebration, but the puck stays out. So we head out to a shootout in the fourth round, tied 1-1. Melody Dow with the one-handed deke for the goal. That is filthy. The stick move right there. Canada up 2-1 in the shootout. Next shooter now for the USA, Amanda Kessel. She scores high glove on Shannon Sabados. The shootout would be tied after 5 rounds. So in the 6th round, the shooting order reverses, so USA shoots first. Jocelyn Lamoureux with the deke for the goal. Lamoureux with a nasty deke. USA goes up 3-2. Now next shooter, USA needs a save to win. Rooney has said pressure is power. And boy, did she show the power. Augusta tries going 5-hole. Rooney makes the save. USA wins 3-2 in the shootout. They win. The ladies win their first gold medal since 1998. Take a listen to what this moment means for the ladies and for USA hockey.
Unforgettable, that's for sure. And made gold. I mean, this team has been through so much, and it's the greatest honor of our lives right now. So proud of the group, so proud of every single woman in the locker room, and just what an experience.
It's fantastic, the type of women that we have in this room and the power that we have. It's just, we all set out to achieve this goal, and we've achieved it today.
It's only been a couple hours, and it's just been a whirlwind. We've only gotten to spend a little bit of time with our family and friends, but I think when we finally get a minute to decompress and take it all in, we'll finally realize what we've accomplished.
Meanwhile, the Canadian hockey players stunned, some in tears and some clearly upset. Defender Jocelyn Larocque was so emotional that she yanked off the silver medal right here immediately after it was placed around her neck during the medal ceremony. By the way, Larocque does have a gold medal to her name. She was part of Canada's winning team in 2014.
Questions arising whether we'll see Kawhi Leonard back on the court this season. It's been a difficult 9 months for Kawhi. It started with him injuring his ankle in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, then missing the preseason and the first 27 games of the regular season with a right quad injury. Leonard returned on December 12th in a loss to Dallas. He averaged 16.2 points in 9 games played. Never played on back-to-back nights. Now, Leonard hasn't played since January 13th with that same right quad injury, and even though he's been cleared to return, head coach Greg Popovich did not sound confident about that.
Kawhi, I'll be surprised if he returns this season. You know, we only have X number of games left in the season, and he's still not ready to go. And if by some chance he is, it's going to be pretty late into the season, and it's going to be a tough decision, you know, how late you bring somebody back. So that's why I'm just trying to be honest and logical. I'll be surprised if he gets back this year.
Let's bring in our NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski, on this. Woj, he's been cleared to play physically. Why isn't Kawhi out there on the floor?
He has not been able yet to decide he can manage the discomfort in that right quad. And it's up to Kawhi Leonard to say he's ready to go. And he was in New York, I'm told, to get another opinion, to see a specialist for 10 days leading into the All-Star break. He worked out at the Players Association's gym in their offices, and the Spurs had staff there with him. But the message yesterday from Greg Popovich, I'm told by people who know him well, they believed it was for an audience of one, Kawhi Leonard, and to let him know that if you're going to decide to play, if you're going to come back, it needs to happen sooner than later for this Spurs team. And he's preparing the rest of his team, his players, for the fact that they may not have Leonard again at all.
It's not usually a good thing when a coach is talking through the media to his player. What's the relationship like between Kawhi and the organization right now?
It is frayed, and it has been frayed for several months. And the rehab process, all of this, the starts and stops with his comebacks, and then he shut it down again after the 9 games, it has taken a toll on the relationship between the Spurs and Leonard. And there is repairing that needs to be done for them to all go forward together and have what they had prior, which was a very strong partnership.
Yeah, it's just bizarre, Woj. A model franchise in the NBA, the best coach in the game, somehow getting a little sideways with the team's cornerstone player. You don't see this a lot. You add it all up, what does it mean for Kawhi's future in San Antonio?
Well, San Antonio wants Kawhi as part of their future. They want to re-sign him to an extension. He could opt out, be a free agent in 2019. They want to be able to recruit free agents and create cap space to put players around him. And he's the kind of guy guys would want to play with. But there's work that needs to be done before that happens. And then if that doesn't happen, then the Spurs have difficult choices to make as they map out their future and decide whether that can include Kawhi Leonard, or do they have to look to get ahead of free agency in 2019 and possibly move him. They're not there yet.
Okay. Puzzling situation there in San Antonio. Let's get to another team in Texas, the Mavs. This explosive story in Sports Illustrated describing a culture of sexual harassment and predatory behavior in the organization. Here's what the face of the franchise, Dirk Nowitzki, had to say about it last night.
It's tough. It's very disappointing. It's heartbreaking. I'm glad it's all coming out. I was disgusted when I read the article. Obviously, as everybody was, I was shocked about some of the stuff, and so just really disappointed that our franchise, that my franchise, that stuff like that was going on. And it's very sad and disappointing. But I think Mark is trying to step up and lead this franchise in the right direction.
The Mark he's referring to is, of course, the owner, Mark Cuban, who can be a bit of a micromanager, and yet somehow he says he mishandled this situation. How do you think the league is going to act here?
Well, David, the league is going to allow the Mavericks to bring in this outside, essentially a former district attorney out of New York, New Jersey, to do a review of everything that happened. There's a lot of explaining that has to be done. Even the explanation Mark Cuban gave to our Tim McMahon yesterday, it doesn't make sense, and why he kept Earl Snead in the organization despite what he knew. And the answers that Cuban admits that he didn't go get from the victim's side. There are a lot of questions, certainly within the league office, about how Cuban, how the organization handled this. And you're also going to see this, a heightened vigilance from the league office to teams all around the league. And I know this in talking to teams the last couple of days, there's been a sense of teams understanding they have to be on top of this and be very vigilant about it within their own organizations.
All right. Certainly have not heard the last of this in Dallas. Adrian Wojnarowski, Woj, giving us the very latest on that.
David, the road to the finals has gone through LeBron James each of the last 7 years. Coming up, we tell you why the Cavs' newfound chemistry has them as favorites once again to reach the finals.
I promise.
I promise.
I promise.